Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This here is the Smartless Hitchhiker U500, and this is a 515 watt hour power station. We're going to take this thing, unbox it, check it out, see what all it'll run. I have several of these now that I've been reviewing, and they just keep getting more power for a lower price these days. So if you don't have one of these things, they are a great thing to have, especially if the power goes out, if you go camping, on trips. We take them to use them for the mini fridge. You can run fans, you can run everything with them pretty much. So really handy to have. And now that they're getting to where the price is dropping on these things, so for a 500 watt power station to take out, and you can run things that's 110, you can run things that's 12 volt, you can charge your cell phones and everything off of it. And whenever the power goes out, you can power a lot of things in your house. You can run a lot of these you can actually run your refrigerator off of. And now this is for, of course, a limited time, depending on how many watt hours you have. This is 515, and depends on what your refrigerator draws. But I use them actually not necessarily for that, but to run a mini fridge, so I can take things out of the fridge, put them in a mini fridge and keep them cool if the power was going to be out for a long time. Usually it's not, but the main thing we use this for is actually taking it with us in the Jeep. When we go on trips, we can keep our drinks cold and our food cold. Works really good for that. So let's take this thing and unbox it and check it out. Okay, so before we unbox it, we'll check out some of the specs here. You can see this is the Hitchhiker U500. The capacity is 515 watt hour, 34,800 milliamp hour on 4.8 volt. The DC input is 19 volt to charge this thing. So anyway, you can charge it anywhere from 12 to 24 volt. And then of course it has 3 USB-A's out at 5 volt, 2.4 amp. We have one USB-A output at 5 volt, 3 amp, or 9 volt, 2 amp, or 12 volt, 1.5 amp. And then we have a USB-C output, which is 5 volt, 3 amp, 8 volt, 3 amp, 12 volt, 3 amp, 15 volt, 3 amp, and 20 volt, 3 amp. Then we have 2 DC out, 12 volt, 5 amps. And then we have the car charger output, which is 12 volt, 10 amp. That's to be the round lighter plug. Then we have AC output, 110 volt, 500 watt, 60 hertz, pure sine wave, and the peak is 1000 watts. So it also shows up here on the top that you can charge cell phones, iPads, laptops, cameras, drones. You can run lamps off of it, or car refrigerators, which is, like I said, that's what we do a lot. So definitely very nice pack with all this heavy foam in there, so it's not going to damage the unit before you get it. So there the unit is itself. You can see here it has a LED light on the front. There's our 12 volt socket out. These are also some 12 volt outputs right here. And then we have here a USB-C. We have all of our other USBs. This we have our 110 plugs right here. Now they don't have the third prong, which I don't care for that. It needs that extra ground on there so you can plug certain things in, but it does not have that. So you may have to use an adapter if you have that kind of equipment that you're going to plug into it. And then here we have our input where we can charge it by solar or charge it by the power supply that comes with it. So it does come with a little owner's manual. It does come with an AC charger, and it has the 110 cord that plugs into the AC charger. So we plug this in here and we plug it into the wall. It also does come with a car charger, which is the same way. Plug it in here, plug it into your accessory outlet on the car. We will take this and plug it into a wall outlet. Okay, so when we're plugged into the wall outlet right there, it shows that we are 85% charging. You see this little battery symbol here showing. The watts, it doesn't show anything on there. So it doesn't show evidently your charging watts, but this should show your watts out whenever you plug something into it. So on here we have the LED. Push that. It does have SOS. Depending on what you want to use. If you want to use a 12 volt, you push this button, turn that on. You can see on here it says DC on the display, which is nice that they tell you this is on, so you know, and you can turn it off. If this is not lighted, then somewhere you want something to indicate that it is turned on, which they did think about that. And here you can see we can USB, shows that it's turned on, which turns on all of these at one time. And then over here we have the AC, shows the AC right here. When I turned that on, the fan come on. Now the fan went back off. Then if you look on the sides of the unit and back of the unit, it has good ventilation, which it needs the ventilation to actually keep cool, and there's a built-in fan also. Okay, so let's take this thing and plug some stuff into it and see what it does. Okay, so I have this mini fridge plugged in. It just turned on. I am running it off the DC 12 volt socket here, you can see. Now, this mini fridge is 110 volt AC, and I could plug it in that way, but you're always better off to plug it into the DC side, because otherwise you're converting this DC to AC, back to DC, so it's not very efficient, and you'll use a lot more power. Running it off 12 volt is a lot better option. And you can see here that we are drawing 36 watts, which isn't bad at all. This thing is set to 4 below 0, so it will cool it down. So you can take 36 watts into 515 watt hours, and you can add this thing up and see how long it's going to last. But now, one thing to consider is too about like a mini fridge is they don't run the whole time. Once it's actually cooled down, then they shut off. So they only kick on periodically, and you're only drawing that 36 watts whenever it's kicked on and running, not all the time. So it will actually last longer than what you would expect. Okay, so just to show you some of the things, I actually have a fan running here. I have it running off the 110 side here. I also have my laptop charging, which is off the USB-C, so it will charge faster because the USB-C has more power. I also have the iPhone charging right here, and then I have a GoPro charging right here. Just to show you all the stuff that you can actually run off this is actually pretty incredible, the stuff it'll run. Now, of course, the more you add to it, the less time it's going to run. You got 515 watt hours, so you would want to check and see how many watts you're drawing, how long it's going to last. And of course, we're also running the mini fridge off of the 12 volt. And you can see that we are drawing 89 watts. So we're actually drawing quite a bit right now. But this thing, like I said, is 500 watts. So the 89 watts is not going to phase it one bit to charge all this stuff up. So I will be taking this thing with us on our next trip. We're actually going down to Oklahoma on a trip. We're going to take this and run this mini fridge for a few days and just see how long it will run, that mini fridge. So that'll be a new upcoming video later. Just to check this thing out, very cool. It's actually nice, and it's not real heavy for the size the battery's got. It does have a nice handle that's built in. Instead of a fold-up handle, you just have the handle that's built in. You don't have to worry about it folding shut, or a handle that rattles around. I do like the looks of it. It feels well built. I like the yellow and black color scheme, and like I said, it does feel well built, and I think this is going to last for a long time. So we're going to take this thing out, do some more testing on it later, and make another video. And thank you guys for watching Woodzman Adventures. I will post a link to this below where you can check it out. Thanks for watching my channel. Just click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Right on.